So yesterday was April Fool's. A lot of jokes were being told by a lot of people, and a lot of feelings were hurt too because some jokes were taken way too seriously. GRUMMZ specifically, who is now being attacked by these reporters from all of these news outlets, they are now trying to cancel him in a Kabrutus style campaign. If you guys remember, Kindred, who was a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, conducted their own harassment campaign against Kabrutus when Kabrutus made a Steam curator page that showed people what kind of games Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in. So everything started because of that little action by the Sweet Baby Inc. employee. That person has since gone on and off from protected tweets, coming out to gaslight people, being defended by people like Alyssa Mercanti, who is a senior editor at Kotaku. She's trying to scrounge for the remains while the vultures circle around the company as it goes down in flames. Then you have people like Ash Parrish from The Verge, who I will show you guys in a few minutes, as well as other reporters from other outlets who just hate GRUMMZ to death. They hate him so much, they can't stand that this guy is getting all of the attention while their companies go down in flames. He proves to them that he is a far better journalist, but I mean, if you ask me, anybody could be a better journalist. But check out this tweet from GRUMMZ. It is my pleasure to finally announce my wedding to Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercanti. Everyone is invited. I just want to make clear to everybody that these people on the other side, they're constantly talking smack about a whole bunch of people too, just saying defamatory language that doesn't make any sense, doesn't add up. There are no facts to back up their claims. I mean, even the very articles that these writers write, Ash Parrish and Alyssa Mercanti, they omit very important facts, including the one about Kindred that I just mentioned to you. They don't talk about that in their articles, and yet they constantly scream about how the truth is being twisted to fit some horrible narrative that is aimed at them. Living in a complete delusion, they have taken great offense to this tweet, but let's go ahead and ignore the fact that these people have been posting pictures of GRUMMZ trying to insult his very appearance. He's making a joke about them getting married, so she of course took this as harassment. As you can see from her tweet here, it says they don't like that I clap back, that I post, but it makes them angrier and angrier, so they resort to lower and lower levels of misogyny. As a woman on the internet, I've been training for this my entire life. Let's go. So who's they that you're blanketing under one giant statement? See, they're making a bunch of vast assumptions about a bunch of people. They're not even listing specifics, but you can tell who she's talking about because of the way that she responds to tweets about that person. She continues, they want their women to be virtually silent, overly sexualized dolls. Okay, that's straight from IGN. I wonder if that was intentional on her part. That's what IGN said. They said that the main character of Stellar Blade was an overly sexualized doll and that the creator had never seen a woman in his life. They were extremely wrong about that, but Alyssa Mercanti probably thinks that it's stellar reporting, just like she thought that The Verge's factless hit piece was stellar reporting. But people do not care about stellar reporting. No, they do not. They care about Stellar Blade. As you can see here from GRUMMZ, Stellar Blade going #1 worldwide. The gamers have spoken. IGN FRA can suck it. #1 in pre-orders, UK, Japan, Romania, Korea, Germany, China, India, Switzerland, Finland. This game is going #1. Yes, people want this game, but it's not just because she's an attractive female, and I've stated this in previous videos. Many others have stated this in previous videos. These people ignore the facts. But the reason that people are buying this is not just because she's attractive. It's because they are pushing back against the mainstream narrative about gamers. They're pushing back against DEI. They're pushing back against ESG money. They don't want those games. They want real fun video game. Now we're going back to this tweet. I wanted to point out that Stellar Blade is doing very well. People are pre-ordering the crap out of it. And Alyssa Mercanti continues about the April Fool's joke because these people get hung up on everything that GRUMMZ says. Obviously, this app is owned by a man who did the exact same thing to AOC. So no, I don't expect reports to do anything, but flood it anyway. I assume that she means to flood GRUMMZ's post with reports, just like Kindred tried to get Steam Curator Group creator Kabrutus canceled. But guess what? That's just scratching the surface. So this just got a whole lot worse for no reason at all because of an April Fool's joke. GRUMMZ says yesterday a Kotaku reporter called for people to report my account for an April Fool's joke, get him canceled for it, just like they tried to do with Kabrutus. They tried to create a story in community notes, painting me as a harasser, and failed because it is another lie. And guess what else? An official GDC board member is complicit in this, and I will show you guys that in just a second. I know what you guys are probably thinking, like, oh great, another GDC advisor. I know, another board advisor coming out in defense of Sweet Baby Inc. and out against gamers, saying the most awful things about them. This is crazy stuff. As one of their directors directly joined in the Cancel Pig campaign, I really don't like talking about this reporter, but if someone would collect all her tweets about me, I think it would be clear she has been stalking my feed. You've got other reporters saying the same thing just from either today or yesterday. Reporter BEGS, I've reported on this guy before. He came out in defense of Sweet Baby Inc. as well, and then also went protected, just like Alyssa Mercanti constantly goes protected. Reporter BEGS, who writes for PC Games In. Now, Ryan Easby says that he no longer writes for PC Games, so do with that information what you will, but he says that he violates the TOS to mass report me and cancel me. This cancel pig is spreading false and defamatory statements. Same type of cancel pigs that lead the vulnerable to self-delete. They don't care. And yes, that is a story going around as well. Yeah, this stuff is getting really intense. People are getting really upset about this. This right here is what Ryan said. Mark Kern is now openly and aggressively harassing a journalist for doing her job. So I want it very publicly known that if you associate with him or agree with any of his ideals, you're simply not welcome in any gaming space worth a D. He can pass off his bigotry, his misogyny as just an April Fool's joke, but people who aren't stupid know what it really is. I don't know. It seems like you people are just making things up in your mind, but okay, go off. Anyway, go report his account. Cheers. So Ryan is calling for a cancel campaign against GRUMMZ too. These people, they're always talking about how they're just like, oh, we're not the cancel culture type. But this is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to cancel gamers for simply exposing the truth, while at the same time refusing to acknowledge that Kabrutus went through the exact same thing from the very people that they defend. But let's look at Ryan Easby's page. Let's look at what he does. It says words, PC Games, and Retro Dodo. So he's written for those people. Freelance writer, I assume. He's done gigs for a whole bunch of people. But that's not the worst thing, because now we've got the GDC board of advisors coming after him as well. But let's go back to Kabrutus's tweet, where it says right here that a GDC advisory board member responded to either Ryan Easby's tweet or Alyssa Mercanti's tweet saying done in response to the request to go on a cancel campaign against GRUMMZ. It says right here, Caroline Markall, play as Dusk, blah, blah, blah. I will show you what she does, and then you guys can see for yourselves what she's been involved in, and it will actually kind of blow your mind. I'm not going to lie. It kind of blew my mind when I looked it up and saw for myself. But she's the CEO and creative director at Night, As Does Fall Games, former lead game developer, okay, on Heavy Rain. That's Quantic Dream who made that game. I know you guys have played Heavy Rain. I remember growing up playing Heavy Rain. Funny enough, I learned about Heavy Rain from watching DSP, Dark Side Phil, back in the day. Interesting what kind of world he lives in now. But it's really funny how we experience these things in such ways. Anyway, yes, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls with Ellen Page, GDC Advisory Board. Yeah, this is crazy. So she's like, yep, count me in. I'm going to help report GRUMMZ. Absolute insanity. I took a look at her pages, by the way, to see what kind of things she's got going on her end. Interior Night, independent game studio, creators of original interactive drama. And then they made a game, As Dusk Falls, official Twitter of As Dusk Falls, an original interactive drama from Night and Xbox Publishing. Xbox! Love the things that you've been saying about gamers lately, Xbox. Let's not pretend that these people aren't in constant communication with each other, constantly lifting each other up, propping up each other's hit pieces, saying that one is doing stellar reporting on the other. You don't believe me? I've got receipts to show you from some of the very reliable people in the Kabrutus Discord itself. Because as you can see right here, there was a Twitch stream called Spawn on Me, number 511. Alyssa Mercanti was on this one. I assume, because I have not watched this, that she has said tons of things about her living around other white people, probably trying to label some of them as racist, saying like, oh, not all white people are racist, but some are. Probably defending all of the horrible, awful things that she's said about people. And guess who else is in this chat? What does that say right there? Can you see that, guys? Chris Kindred. My great-grandfather was literally a sharecropper. Very interesting to see Chris Kindred there. I wonder who else is in the chat. Let's look at who else. Oh, Ad Astra. Guess who that is? Ash Parrish, the Verge reporter who put out that hit piece about Kabrutus's Discord specifically, while also naming Asmongold and Elon Musk and other gamers in there, trying to paint a white male gamers are racist narrative. So she's right there in chat. You've got Chris Kindred in chat, all trying to support Alyssa. And remember, this whole thing started because Kindred tried to cancel Kabrutus at the very beginning. And they're all just like, hey, it's cool. Let's all just hang out and talk to each other. But by the way, the person that was in here chatting and asking these people just basic questions, not even trolling these people, Kindred also told them that he doesn't know who that person is. And this person ended up getting banned from the chat. So it's not like they're open to any kind of healthy discourse when they're challenged on their thoughts and ideas, but they'll have the person from Sweet Baby Inc. who started this entire thing in their chat. And these reporters don't care. They're getting a whole bunch of negative attention on Twitter from people that they attack, and then they're turning around and saying that Grumz is the one who's attacking everybody and that he needs to be canceled. So of course they're going to do the same thing Kindred does, because in reality they want Kabrutus and all of these other gamers to be canceled. That's why they're saying on their social media, yeah, go ahead and report them. Report the crap out of them. Try to get them canceled. Try to get Grumz reported and canceled through community notes. Like, these are people who are on the advisors board for GDC. I mean, these are the people who were at GDC hosting and presenting events. It's not just one, it's several people. And think about this as well. Ash Parrish, Alyssa Mercanti, Kindred, some of these people also went to GDC. Didn't realize women in post-apocalyptic settings needed to be hot. The racism and just hatred of women who are real is so apparent. I can only assume what kind of things are being said on this podcast, but I imagine that it can't be good, and it probably paints all of the people who are in support of Kabrutus in a bad light. All women must be hot, you understand, says Ash Parrish. Now, I'm not saying that they have a round table where they're all chatting about how they can ruin gaming forever. No, of course I'm not saying that, but they've clearly taken a side. And when it comes to reporting, they've clearly crossed the line willfully, and they're gladly announcing it on social media. That's why you've got Ryan Easby, Alyssa Mercanti, GDC board advisors, all these people who are defending a horrible act against an innocent person from outside of the United States, for crying out loud. They're working overtime to save their narrative. Kotaku's trying to save their burning down company, and it's only going to get worse from here. Just like I said in previous videos, it's only going to get more intense. It's going to get worse. When they're backed into a corner, they're going to lash out in ways that you have probably not seen before, and I can only imagine how that is going to go. But that is all I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't had the chance to like it and share it with your friends, that would be awesome. And hey, if you're feeling ultra spicy, consider subscribing to my channel so that you're always up to date on what kind of thing I've got going on. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Later. Meow, meow.